Hello, my name is Nish. I'm here today to show you guys how to make a dice bag with pockets. I made a dice bag for myself a long while ago, which is this one. I'm making a few from my party, so I thought I would show the process and how to make those for yourself because I got a few requests from friends and I thought a tutorial would be appropriate. These two are the dice bags that I make in this video. I'm only going to show you basically the progress for this one, but this one's the same, and I also show you how this one is inspired by one of the characters and this one's for our DM. And how they work, I'm going to show you on this one because the pockets are a different color. Basically what we will be making is this. This is the open dice bag. And it has pockets. I'm making mine with 6 pockets, but you can make how many you want. And you have a little bit of space in the center. And then you also have the little pockets things where you can just dump your dice. I find that each of the pockets, with the dimensions that I made them, holds 2 sets of dice, like, easily. Like, you see that? So yeah. Without further ado, let's just get into how I made my dice bags.
I'm gonna start by making 2 circles on my fabric, both with a diameter of 26 centimeters. I'm using a plate because it has those dimensions and I find it way easier to draw on the fabric like this. I'm gonna draw a 1 centimeter seam allowance on these. And that's my kitty. Say hello. And I'm also gonna draw a 40 centimeter circle on this fabric with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. And then cut all of these out. For this dice bag in specific, I'm gonna tie-dye the interior. This is really just for a little bit of pizzazz, I guess. It's completely optional what you do with your fabrics. And when that's done, I will cut out our last 40 centimeter circle, and that will be everything we need for one dice bag. So to recap, that's 2 small 26 centimeter circles, which will be the pockets, and 2 40 centimeter ones, which will be the inside and the outside of the bag. I'll do the same with these other fabrics, which will become the pink and yellow dice bag that I showed you earlier. Really, the only difference with this dice bag is that I will cut an extra 40 centimeter circle out of this sparkly tool, and later I will use that as an overlay for the outside of the bag. This overlay part is completely optional, you don't have to do it if you don't want, it's really just for a bit of pizzazz. After you're done cutting everything you need, iron all your pieces and remember to iron as you work. My grandma always told me that an iron is half a seamstress. Moving on to the sewing machine and a much too familiar sight. I will pin my 2 smaller circles to each other, right sides together. I'm sewing it all around, following the marking I made earlier, but leaving a little opening. Cut the excess out and then turn it inside out using the opening we left earlier. I'm gonna iron this out, and I will use a ladder stitch to shut the opening up. I'm really sorry, but I forgot to record this bit, but to mark where the pockets will go, I divided the circle into 6 pieces with a tailor's chalk, kinda like a pizza. Next, I'm gonna put one of my big circles on a table, right side up, and place the piece we just sewn in the center of it. I'm using the measuring tape to make sure it's centered, and after I'm happy with the position, I will just pin it in place. Now I'll just sew straight down the pizza markings I made earlier, and I'll be done with the pockets. I will now place my remaining piece, but in this case pieces because I have the overlay, right sides down. I will place the overlay first because I want that to be on the outside part, and I will place the pink fabric on top of it, and I will pin it all down. I'm really sorry that this bit is out of focus, I only noticed when I was editing. I'm gonna sew it all around just like we did previously, and I'm also gonna leave a small opening so we can turn it inside out later on. After that, just cut the excess, turn it around, and iron it. We are now gonna make a channel for the string to go through. Sew all around, once as close to the pocket edges as you can, and then another time with a 1 centimeter gap from the first seam. I usually just guide myself with the foot of the sewing machine. Be careful when you're doing this so that you don't accidentally close the pockets. We are almost done. Just grab some scissors and cut a very small opening between these 2 seams that we just made. Only cut the outer fabric, being very careful not to damage the inner circle. I'm then grabbing a needle, some thread, and I'm sewing all around the hole we just made, kinda like a button case with a very tight together stitch, sorta like a satin stitch. This is made to prevent fraying later on. Again, be really careful not to sew the inner piece of the fabric, otherwise this hole will not be functional. After that's complete, make a second hole right next to the first and repeat the whole process. You're almost done! Now all you have to do is get a string of some sort. For this bag specifically, I made my own using some embroidery thread and just braiding it. After that, get a small safety pin and hook your string to it. I'm showing you the other dice bag that we made right now, but we're going to insert the safety pin into the channel we just made, and we're going to work it through, making it all the way around to the other hole. Be careful so that the other end of the string doesn't get lost inside. For reference, the string I'm using is 65 centimeters long. I'm using one like this because I find that this length allows me to keep the bag pretty open, which is really nice for reaching for dice when you're playing D&D. Just pull on the string and the bag is done. Your dice bag is now ready for all your dice needs wherever you need to take them. I find the pocket system really helpful to separate dice sets, and I usually use the center as a dice jail when they really aren't cooperating with me. If you end up using this tutorial, please let me know. I would really like to see what kinds of designs and color combos you will come up with. But anyways, happy role-playing!
Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. This was this was my first attempt at a sewing tutorial. If you don't have a lot of sewing experience, I think this is also a very easy tutorial. Like, it's a very easy project. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful in some way. I hope you can make your own dice bags from now on. And I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, please like, subscribe and all that.